Nothing goes better together than Halloween and wrestling. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Count coming at you. And before I get into this video, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. So, heading into Full Gear, we didn't have a number one contender that was going to challenge Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World title, and now we do. It's no shock that Samoa Joe was the winner of this four-way that they had in the main event of Dynamite. I think it was pretty obvious Stevie Wonder could have saw that this was the direction that we were going to go. And it's been so kind of complicated and maybe a little bit of underwhelming ever since Hangman Page has won the AEW World title at All In. I know that was a very special moment that we all remember in that match that he had with Jon Moxley. But just like WWE has kind of had a hard time kind of sticking the landing and just pivoting and going forward when we have these big monumental moments, it looks as if AEW is having the same problem with this title reign. We just saw on the last pay-per-view that it wasn't the main event of the show. We had Darby and Jon Moxley, which rightfully so. They had the more hotter and long-term storyline, but this is kind of becoming a pattern where Hangman's match isn't the most anticipated match on the card. And with him being the AEW World Champion, it kind of doesn't really bode well for the reign that he's currently on. But we see Joe win the four-way. We have him be interviewed by Tony Schiavone in the middle of the ring. He is presented a contract. We have all of these people come in costumes, what are the inflatable type of costumes. And Samoa Joe is like, basically I've seen this before. And we had him and the Ops take out these people in costumes. We had one person left, and it was in the Marshmallow Man costume from Ghostbusters, Hangman Page. We all know that very famous moment of him being in the Marshmallow Man costume before. We get this, presumption that it is Hangman in the costume. The mask gets ripped off, or the inflatable head, whatever you want to call it, and it's revealed to not be Hangman. We hear Tony Schiavone continue to talk in the background. Tony Schiavone, he has a Phantom of the Opera mask, and we start hearing Tony Schiavone's voice, but we don't see his face anymore, and we get a pan out of the camera revealing that it is actually Hangman Page that has been standing back in the Phantom of the Opera mask pretending to be Tony Schiavone, because Tony Schiavone was able to distract the Ops and they were occupied with other things, so they didn't take the time to look back to make sure that it was still Tony Schiavone, and we see Hangman Page jump Samoa Joe. Now, at Full Gear, I think that it is obvious that Hangman is going to retain the title once again. I think that the guy who they are positioning to be the one to ultimately end Hangman Page's title run is MJF. He still has that contract intact. I think it would make sense that we're going to have MJF win the world title at World's End. That is where he originally lost the Triple B before. And I think MJF now being in the position where I think that he could be having a more compelling run this time with the AEW title, now that we don't have the Devil's Mask stuff involved or his program with Adam Page involved that was plagued from the beginning by injuries. I think that this could be the next opportunity for them to reignite and really put the straps of the Rockets behind MJF's back again. And we've tried with the Hangman Page stuff. Initially, I think that Tony Khan had Darby Allin earmarked to be the one to take the title off of Jon Moxley. And with him climbing Mount Everest, I think that put a monkey wrench in a lot of things. And he kind of rode the momentum of the crowd and decided to give the title to Hangman instead. But I think in his heart of hearts, he wanted Darby to be that guy. And I think it's kind of time to pivot off of the Hangman title reign and potentially have MJF be the guy to eventually take the title. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Did you like the ending of this episode of Dynamite? Did you think it was clever with the fake Marshmallow Man disguise? What did you think? Please remember to hit that like button and hit up the comments section. Like and subscribe. I am Kevin Zwicker. I'm out.